All right, and we should be live, hopefully. Just take a minute for it to pop up on YouTube, because, yeah, it always takes a while. But, yeah, thanks for being on the show, man.
What up? What up?
Yeah, how's your weekend going? You playing anything so far? Are you playing Astrobot?
Weekend's going good. I haven't started Astrobot yet. I've been playing Visions of Mana.
Ooh, how's that going?
Going good. I like it. I've been playing it on my Steam Deck.
Sad to hear about what happened to the developers.
It is.
Yeah. It's like one of those tactical RPGs, right? The turn-based, like Square Enix's old style.
It is I would say more of a action RPG.
Really, more actiony.
Yeah.
So if you were to give it a rating right now, what would you give it?
I'm like about 3.5 hours in, and I would say it's a solid 9. I'm liking it. Liking the story. The visuals look good. Like I said, I like the combat so far. The sound sounds good, especially on the Steam Deck. Like I said, I've had no issues with it on my Steam Deck so far.
I hope not. I mean, it doesn't look like that much of a graphically intensive game, but But are you playing Wukong at all? I know that's also a big one this month.
I haven't tried Wukong yet.
No,
I want to try it.
Are you much of a Souls fan?
Yes, I do like Souls.
All right, I think you probably might love that game because I heard it's a bit of a challenge too.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I like to do for this show though is I kind of like to go into kind of my guests backgrounds in terms of gaming, and then also their content history on related to YouTube or whatever they do, you know. So first I'm gonna start off with the gaming related questions. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
All right. So I want to know where you started in gaming, because I know you're kind of old, so you probably have a history in one of the older consoles, right? So take me through where you started.
Like I said, I'm an old school gamer. I didn't start gaming till I was 6, and my very first gaming platform I started playing on was my mom and dad's Atari 2600 back in the day. I was playing Asteroids, video pinball, and a game that y'all probably never heard of was Frostbite. Yeah.
Wait, Frostbite?
Yeah, Frostbite.
What's
it was it was like a platformer where you had to jump around from on ice platforms and try not to die. And as you're doing that, you're building an igloo. Once you got your igloo built, you jump back up to the main top and go into your igloo and go to the next stage.
Wow, really? All that in a platformer?
Yep. And like I said, I've been gaming on the Atari 2600, and since on my very first console I ever bought with my own money was the Nintendo, the NES. And from there, I've just been a gamer. I've been playing games or video games ever since. I've had the Super Nintendo, I've had the Sega Genesis, you name it, I've had it.
You also went through the Sega and Nintendo marketing war, right?
Yes.
Sega does what Nintendo don't.
Yep.
Those are good times, right?
Oh yeah, great times. I mean, that's probably I would say where the gaming wars began was the Nintendo and Sega days.
Yeah.
And then it just started going on, Then we got Twitter. Then it just became even
more toxic
with the gaming wars. PlayStation's better, Xbox is better, all that stuff. I'm like, hey, it is what it is. Play where you want. That's where I look at it. Play where you want.
So, would you consider yourself lucky enough to experience all the consoles, or did you just stick to Nintendo for a little bit and then switch to Sega?
I stuck with Nintendo for till I got probably, I would say 14, 16. That's when my mom let me buy my Sega Genesis, and started playing a little bit more mature games. Like that's what got me into Shining Force, which was RPGs. Was my very first like RPG game that I started playing. Then once I discovered Shining Force, I dived into even more RPGs, and that's where I found like my love for Final Fantasy, and I started playing Final Fantasy 1, and then moved on to through the Final Fantasy series, which I love. My favorite Final Fantasy game I would say is 7, OG 7.
That's what I was gonna say. So judging by like how you're playing Visions of Mana and how you're talking about Final Fantasy, you must have been pretty big into Final Fantasy then.
Oh, so, very, very.
So what was your reaction to like Final Fantasy 7 then?
Once I found the original Final Fantasy and started playing it, I'm like, bro, this is amazing. The story is good. Back then, the graphics looked great. And I fell in love with Sephiroth. He was just my main character I fell in love with. I'm like, dude, his sword is so big. And it was the very first game that, that ever, touched my heart. Because, in the original Final Fantasy, Aerith dies. And I'm like, bro, that moved me so much. And with video games, I'm like, I was just in tears. I'm like, that's so sad.
Yeah, I heard that Aerith scene brought a lot of people to tears, too. So, I never. Okay, I'll be honest. I never got to experience the original ones because I'm not a turn-based guy. But I know that the story is good because like I remember watching all like the type of videos like talking about like the biggest like the best games of story, and they would always list Final Fantasy 7 because of like what happens. But honestly, I'm glad that they remastered it because like now someone like me can actually get into the series, especially because like if you're not because there's a lot of people that aren't turn-based fans these days. So how they remade it and the gameplay is good now because at least now you can get more casual fans into the series. Yeah, but. Also, a quick shout out to Retro and the Gamer C, man. Thank you for the support, man. My friend. Yeah, all right. So, I guess going from the Final Fantasy talk, I guess I gotta ask you now. Then, like, what's your favorite game franchise of all time, or like your top 5?
My favorite game, my top 5 favorite gaming franchise would be 1 would be Final Fantasy. 2, I would say the Gears of War series. That's what actually drove me to buying Xbox and only owning an Xbox because of Gears of War. I said anytime there's a Gears of War game that drops, I'm like, I gotta go buy an Xbox. I didn't care about anything. I was like, I didn't care about anything else about Xbox, but Gears of War was like that drove me into buying the Xbox. 3, I would say Mario. Super Mario, I think it was for the Super Nintendo, was my favorite. But I did like also Mario 3, where, he was flying like a raccoon and all that also. But Super Mario for Super Nintendo was my love for that. 4, I would say Sonic. And 5, I would say Call of Duty. I like Call of Duty.
All right, casual game right there. I like it.
Yep. Just like to hang out with my friends and shoot the shit and do the pew-pewing.
I always gotta have one of those games where you just turn off your brain and just have fun with friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Pretty diverse list. Like, I guess you kind of like a lot of everything. Don't really stick to one genre, right?
Right.
Also, I gotta ask real quick: have you gone into that Final Fantasy MMO at all? What is it? 14 online or no?
I tried it. It just wasn't clicking with me. I'm not a big I'm not a super big on MMOs. I know a lot of my friends like it. I know a lot of my friends like it, but it just wasn't clicking for me. I'm like, y'all go have at it, enjoy it. It's not for me.
I think I know someone who would try to sell you on the game. Shout out to PMS Jordan. Yeah, she promotes the game big time. Might as well be a free agent for Square Enix.
All facts. Like I said, I follow her and she follows me, and like I said, she goes hard in Final Fantasy 14. I have a few friends. I have a few friends that do it as well, like Red Hood. I know he's big on Final Fantasy 14 as well, and I'm like, you go have at it, bro. It's not for me. I'll stick to the single player type stuff.
Yeah. So, okay. So, what's been your favorite single player this year?
My favorite single player right now, I would say, man, this year, I might say I haven't played it, but I did watch BitCloud play it a couple days ago, and it looked really good, and I want to buy it. I might say Astrobot. I watched him play all the way through. He did like a 18-hour stream, and it definitely looked magnificent.
Oh, so you haven't bought it yet, then? Okay.
Yeah, I haven't bought it yet, and it's just because of money wise. But I'm like, yo, I need that. That's like that. This looks good. It was giving me like Mario vibes and everything else. I'm like, this is like a throwback to like old school gaming. I was like, I needed this.
Yeah. I honestly could see it because it kind of it looks like a Mario N64 game, and I think okay. I'm a huge platformer fan. I grew up with Mario and I grew up with Ratchet and Clank, so I kind of miss those genre games. Like nowadays, like it's hard to like even like have just a few platformers. So I'm glad that this is as popping as it is, because like the genre has needed this for a while.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, like the only few games that we got were like that Crash game that from Activision before they got bought out, and Psychonauts. And but it says those were the only two newest ones, because okay, I'll be honest, I don't consider Ratchet that much of a platformer these days, because it's more a third person shooty action game.
Right.
So, yeah.
What up, Prime Time? It's one of my fellow podcasters, Prime Time from the Platform Podcast.
Hello, Prime Time. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, go on. What were we about to say?
I just wanted to say shout out to Prime Time.
Okay.
Podcast. But yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, honestly, I think something like what Astrobot was trying to do is like what was needed for platformers now. I mean, Mario was practically carrying the genre on its back with Mario Odyssey. So yeah,
I would say Astrobot was needed, because especially with the letdown of Concord just was not it with with the PlayStation community, and I bought it as well, and I'm like, I played like maybe I'd probably say 3-4 hours, and I'm like, this is not it. It might have done better if it was free to play, but them asking $40 for this game plus tax, I'm like, it just wasn't popping especially with the Sony community. And like I said, the Sony community needed Astrobot. This Astrobot, was needed.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny when you think about it, how we go within 1 week, just like one of Sony's biggest games flopping to one of Sony's other games just being one of the best this year. It's like,
right.
It's like the pendulum has swung so hard in both directions. Yeah, but that actually kind of leads me to one of my questions, because I always like to get my guests like thoughts about this, because I know a lot of people don't like the big multiplayer push. They want to go back to having like smaller, more like just tight experiences like we used to have for the PS2 and PS3 days. Yeah. How do you feel about the current multiplayer like era that we're in?
I don't mind it. Like I said, I like multiplayer. I can bounce around between it. I'm a more single player type person, but if I bounce around to like the multiplayer games, I'm usually bouncing around with, shout out to Danny and Dave from the Platform Podcast. We're usually, playing Call of Duty or Once Human, or it's a survival building type game because they like those type of games. But yeah, I don't mind it. Like I said, I like, hanging out with my friends and, shoot the shit and play some of those type of games and hanging out with them. But if I'm not doing that, I'm all about the single player, get the single player games in and keep them dropping because that's my go-to.
All right, fair enough. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm not too big of a fan of the multiplayer push. Like I'll like one or two games here and there, but I honestly feel like since these companies are just chasing for that big bag of money, it's kind of led to just every game just feeling the same. That's why I think Concord kind of died, because it stood no chance. It didn't stand out. I mean, at least I think the reason Marvel Heroes is probably as popular right now because it has that Marvel branding.
Oh, see, I can't wait for Marvel Rivals. Yeah, I played the demo for Marvel Rivals, and I'm like, I need this. I was a big Overwatch fan, and I played Overwatch for a long time, especially Overwatch 1. I didn't dive into Overwatch 2 that much. It wasn't, popping with me. Agreeing with me, but Overwatch 1, oh yeah, I was like, yeah, I had lots and lots of hours of Overwatch 1, and I played Marvel Rivals. Like, yeah, this I need this.
Although what's kind of funny though, Overwatch was kind of like the first one to do the hero shooter shit, but that kind of died down once fucking Fortnite and PUBG released, which kicked off the battle royale craze.
Yeah,
so it's kind of funny to see that the hero shooters just kind of came back out of nowhere.
And see, I'm a big Fortnite person. I love me some Fortnite. I'm always trying to get prime time in here. It's like, come on, prime time, play some Fortnite. He's like, no. He's like, no. He goes, I can't stand Fortnite.
Yeah, I mean, I can't get into it myself. I mean, I have friends that play it once in a while, but I can never get into it.
Oh, I love it, especially since they added the no build and stuff in there. Oh, bro, I love the no build.
Are you one of the people that complain about the kids that would build fucking towers in combat?
Oh my god! I complained from up to the heavens because I could not build for the life of me. Then when you had these little 10-year-olds were building Eiffel Towers and popping me in, and I'm like, get third place. I'm like, son of a bitch.
It's like, stay still, you little bitch.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's also my issue with current day Call of Duty. I feel like it's way too tryhardish, especially because I don't know if that's the case nowadays with the new games, but I remember after Black Ops, after Infinity Ward, people were complaining about the Modern Warfare games having their pairing system or matchmaking system pair you with someone who was high, I want to say in rank or whatever. They would pair you with someone who was doing higher in stats, so you always get just shit on if you were terrible. Yeah. So that's how I felt with Call of Duty.
Yeah, I didn't like that when they started doing the matchmaking of what you're saying, where they match you with I think it's called skill level matchmaking.
Yeah. And
I was like, no. Give me some noobs and so I can melt them. That was that was my always favorite thing, especially Christmas holidays or any of the holidays like New Year's or Christmas. The new Call of Duty's already been dropped. I'm like, yeah, now I can pop in the new Call of Duty, go kill some Christmas noobs.
Prime time saying people are tired of microtransactions and live service games.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. You know, a lot of people are tired with the microtransactions and where they want you to open their wallet and
You, you know
drop the
what I'm kind
bag.
I'm kind of okay with that because I've kind of got tired of the battle pass. Like not every game needs a battle pass.
See
Like
that I
stop
agree
lock
with as well.
like that's like locking shit behind like a subscription service. Like
Mm-hmm.
you know you're not gonna get through the entire season, so like
Right.
you're just gonna end up paying for everything just to get through it.
Mm-hmm. That I
Yeah.
agree with. Like me and Primetime and Dan the Man from the Platform Podcast, we were playing Diablo Immortal, if you all remember that. It was the mobile game for Diablo. And we got pretty far in Diablo, then in that game in Diablo Immortal, then it asks you for your wallet. Like if you want to progress further in this game, you had to, drop the bag. I'm like, fuck this game. I'm like, I ain't dropping like a $20 bag on this game. I was like, nah, I'm good. If I can't grind for it and earn it, nah, get me the hell out of here. You getting greedy.
Right. Well, that's kind of actually what leads me to my next question because I always like to get my guests like thoughts on like the current state of gaming because like I always see like the negative. Of course, you always have those people that post the negative views on gaming, like they think it's gonna have a big crash again, or like we're heading towards a crash. But like I don't know because I also hear the arguments like because like the indie scene is popping, like it's not really gonna die. But what's your thoughts? Do you think like we're kind of in like a bad place right now, like we'll crash or?
I don't think we're in a bad place at all. This is just my opinion. I don't think we're in a bad place at all. As long as the single players keep dropping, the multiplayer balance of the multiplayers keep dropping, and the indies. The indies are looking really good lately. Like I said, I've played some really good indies lately. Like I've watched Black Myth Wukong. It's an indie game. It was only made by I think like 30 or 40 people from China, and I think it's called Game Science that made the game. And like I said, that's indie to me. And like I said, it's visually breathtaking. I've watched Platform play it. I watched Primetime play it, and it's beautiful. As long as we got a balance of all those games, I don't think we're heading for a crash.
All right, fair enough. Going back to the console stuff, I want to know like what your favorite generation has been like so far.
My favorite generation?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to say my favorite generation is going to have to be PlayStation 2. Yeah, PlayStation 2 has been my favorite generation of like all of console gaming.
All right.
It's one of it introduced me into RPG games and the Sony library, and I just fell in love with Sony. And as Primetime calls me, I am the the resident pony on the Platform Podcast.
Okay. Just because you love for the just because of your love for the PS2.
Yeah. Just the PS2 and anything that Sony does. It's the love for it.
Also, a quick shout out to Double Shoot in the chat. I see you there. Thank you for coming by, my friend. He's a big Persona fan. I gotta ask if you play Persona since you love your turn-based RPGs.
I tried Persona 5 and I got through the first boss, the gym leader, and it just wasn't vibing for me. I don't like all the calendar date things and going back and forth and all that. It just wasn't vibing for me. So I wasn't feeling about Persona. I'm like, I know a lot of people love it. It just wasn't for me. I'm like, nah. You all go ahead and have at it.
So I guess there's some franchises you just won't get into, even if they are like in that genre you like.
Right.
Okay. So I got to throw this curveball then at you. What's your least favorite franchise of all time or genre? I guess.
My least favorite franchise, I know I'll probably catch a lot of flack of this, would be Halo. I'm not the biggest Halo fan. So I can play it here and there with some of my friends, but it just doesn't. It's just not my thing.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah. Well, thank God I don't have a lot of viewers right now, because you probably would get flamed for that. I'd probably be like I'd probably be like, I don't know this man. I don't know why he's on my show.
Right.
I'll be honest. I tried getting into the story. I could not get past like just a few missions. I purely enjoy it just for the multiplayer, just with friends though.
Yeah.
Other than that, I can give less of a shits about Halo, to be honest.
Say that's me.
All right. Well, if I get flack for after the show uploads, then yeah.
Just tell them, say, hey, I'm a pony. I'm a pony.
Where did you get that sound clip from?
It's on our soundboard for the platform. I have my own soundboard with the platform that we use.
No, I mean, like how, like for the person saying I'm a pony, that is actually fucking perfect.
That's me. That's my voice too.
Oh, okay. Oh, that is perfect. So you make your own sound clips then with your own voice?
Yeah.
Oh, that is beautiful. I gotta hire you to do some for me now. So other than Halo, so you're just not big into that series then, huh?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest Halo fan. I played 1 through 3, beat them, and like I said, after that, I was like, that it should have died to there or whatever. You know, it just should have ended. Now they're stretching it out, you know, 4, 5, and 6, and I'm like, no, it's just not sitting with me.
To be honest, that's kind of how I felt with Assassin's Creed. After Syndicate, when they got rid of the story out of that, when they rebooted the series, well, technically rebooted, you know, because it's still continuing it on through the name. But after they got rid of it in what's it called, Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the Egyptian one, I was kind of like, you know what, I'm not gonna continue with this series.
I feel it. See, that's another series I couldn't get into, was Assassin's Creed, any of them. I didn't like it.
I am beyond disappointed.
So I wasn't keen on, you know, the whole stealthing missions and everything, but when it came to Odyssey, where it was more like an RPG, I liked it. I thought it was fun, and I was like, hey, this is a new spin on Assassin's Creed. It's more of an RPG, and you know, you don't have to be stealthy and stuff. You can just, it's an open world, you can run around. The only thing I didn't like about those ones was, you know, they were so big. I was like, bro, to complete one of these games, you needed to invest like 100 to like 110 hours to, you know, complete Odyssey or any of those. I'm like, bro, I don't got that kind of time.
All right, fair enough. Yeah. What's it called? I always forget. I always mix up the two between Odyssey and the Roman one. I can never get. I think it's because they look so similar that they just mesh my head. But you know which one I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That one, I heard how long it took for that one, especially because Ubisoft was still pushing like, "Hey, we have a bigger map." It's like, stop making things bigger, please.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm like, stop making these maps so big.
All right, because they just end up fluffing the maps out with just like boring side quests.
Facts. I call that fluff.
You know, okay, I'm gonna have a hot take here. I think Horizon's guilty of that.
Oh, I agree. I totally agree. I agree with that with Final Fantasy Rebirth. A lot of people came at my neck because I'm like, bro, there is way too much fluff in Final Fantasy Rebirth. And I liked Final Fantasy VII Remake, but Rebirth I dropped because I'm like, there's just way too much fluff. I was like, I just want to do the story and move on. I didn't want to, like there was scenes on there like you had to look for the sailors on the ship to progress. I didn't like the card game. I'm like, and they're like, optional. I said, I know it's optional. I said, but I didn't care for it. It didn't need to be in there.
It's like don't put it in there. Yeah, I could definitely understand that. Yeah. Okay, I guess to wrap up the gaming questions, I gotta get your thoughts about this current generation, though. Like, are you happy with like the PS5 and Series X, like the games that have come out for them?
I've been satisfied with my PS5. I don't have a Series X, but I feel bad for the people that have a Series X because the way they've been marketing it and the way they've been putting their games on, the PS5 and Nintendo Switch. I'm like, what's the point of owning a Series X? Because to me, you buy a Sony PS5 for, they're exclusives. I know a lot of people don't like, hey, exclusives are bad, but I mean, that's what helps, sell a certain console. I mean, that's what I grew up on. That's what helps sells the console. And that's not just me being, a console war fanboy type stuff. That's just how I felt. Like, if you don't have a certain, amount of exclusives for your console, it's not going to sell that well. And right now, that's where I'm at with Xbox. They don't have any exclusives because they've been putting them all on, other, consoles. Like I said, Sony and Nintendo. Hi-Fi Rush came to PlayStation 5 when it was supposed to be a console exclusive, and they just announced not too long ago, and you saw Twitter also about it, Indiana Jones. When Keely's like, oh, we got one more announcement. Indiana Jones is coming to PS5.
Yeah, I saw the meltdown that happened on Twitter. At that point, I just kind of was feeling bad for anybody that was fans of the platform. I was like,
right. I'm like, what's the point of owning an Xbox? But hey, it is what it is.
Okay. That was you were telling me about Queen's Blood. I didn't know it was a mini game.
Yeah, that's the name of Final Fantasy's card game in the remake and rebirth is called Queen's Blood. I'm like, meh. I didn't care for it.
Okay.
I know it's optional. I know it's optional, but I'm like, if I can get away from it, I don't want to play it.
It's like, I do not want to do this. Well, at least it's optional, so like you don't have to go back to it then.
Right.
I think recently that new Star Wars Outlaws game added a card game with it. Well, it already has a card game technically because of the lore, and they called it the same thing in KOTOR 1. I don't know if you ever played it. It's
I played KOTOR.
Yeah, it was that Pazak, how do I pronounce it? Fuck Star Wars names. But yeah, so they have that in the newer one that Ubisoft released.
Yeah, I want to try it. I haven't tried Star Wars Outlaws yet. It don't look bad, but I've saw some bugs and glitches and stuff, from the people I've watched that stream the game and stuff. I'm like, maybe should I wait for a sale? I don't know.
I heard some of the mini games they have are kind of boring, like the ones for opening locked doors or whatever.
Yeah, see, I saw some of them. I'm like, I don't know. If I decide to play it, I'm either going to wait for a sale or I'll probably pick it up on Ubisoft Plus and play it on my PC because with Ubisoft Plus it's only like $16 a month. And then
you actually pay for that shit, sir.
Yeah, I usually get Ubisoft Plus and every now and then. I don't sub to it like all the time, but when it comes to certain games like that, and if I want to try them, And if I like it, I'll go buy the game. But if I don't, I'm like, okay, cancel Ubisoft Plus for that month. I tried it. I'm good.
I was gonna say, vaya con Dios con your wallet. I think that's always.
Oh yeah.
Like honestly, like I know Game Pass is a better value, but when you compare Ubisoft to an EA, like those things offer nothing of value.
Mm. Yeah, those are the big things I usually sub to. Is either I'm always subbing to Xbox Game Pass. I'm always sub to the PlayStation. Where their little service thing they call it now. And I pay for my PS Plus as well. So those are the main things I sub to.
Speaking of PS Plus, are you gonna try out that Harry Potter Quidditch game that they released for this month's selection?
I'm gonna give it a shot. I'll download it and try it out.
I actually played it. It's actually interesting. It's fun, but it's a bit challenging. It's like learning Rocket League for the first time, practically.
Okay.
Because it plays almost exactly like it, except instead of just one giant goal, you have 3 smaller goals.
Okay.
Yeah. I recommend it, especially if you're a Harry Potter fan.
Yeah, so I like the movies. I never read the books. But yeah, I like the movies. The game wasn't bad either. The newer one that they put out, it was okay. Like I dropped it also, but it was okay. I liked it. It was visually good. Story was okay. It was just too repetitive, I thought the missions were and stuff.
That's fair. Well, I guess heading away from the gaming topics, I'm gonna go into some of the content related questions because I know you're in and we share similar groups. We're both from a big cloud, of course. So I want to know how you got into like the whole podcasting scene.
How I got into the podcasting scene was years ago. I was in a Facebook group with some of my friends that we ran on Facebook. It was called back then Hard Knock Gamers. And then I met Danny, and we became good friends because we were mods for that Facebook group. And we started talking and stuff, and I started pestering him. I was like, yo, Danny, I said, we should do a podcast, you and I. And and he set it up and everything. He did the the artwork. He's like the main host of the show and everything. And that's how the platform podcast became what it is. We started on YouTube and we moved to Twitch.
Huh. Okay. So really?
Yep. And now the platform podcast consists of me, Brandon the Whole Man, Primetime Gaming, and Dan the Man, and Bad Bella Entertainment is what it consists of for now.
So I got.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I'll let you finish off what you're gonna say.
I was gonna say, and we've interviewed some famous people in gaming and like voice actors and as developers as well. Like if you played the Resident Evil, like the newer ones, like Resident Evil 2 remake, we got to interview Nick Apostolides. If you played the Star Wars, I think it was called the one that had Cal Kestis.
Oh yeah.
Part 1, we got to interview her, the sister.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So it seems like you guys are getting a lot done with your show then. But I gotta ask, like, so how's it been like just running the show, like just you three, or just how's it been with you guys just running the show together?
Great. We have a great vibe, all of us. We bounce off each other, and Danny comes up with the topics, what we want to talk about, and then we all share our opinions on it. And you can check us out on the platform podcast on Twitch at 2 p.m. But yeah, it's a vibe. We laugh, and We scream at each other sometimes. Sometimes we drink. Sometimes I do some stupid shit. We do a New Year's show as well. Like last year, I got stupid drunk, and
Oh, that's always fun.
I got stupid drunk. My friend Brandon, the whole man, he's actually my real life friend, and he had to come, pick me up off the floor because I was out.
Oh no.
Yeah, because all they heard was, I'm sitting on their camera on New Year's Eve, and all they heard, they saw me on cam, and I went to stand up to try to go use the restroom, and all they heard was a thud. They're like, "What was that?"
Oh no.
They're screaming, and and it's going through my headphones. Mike, you okay? And Dan's like, Brandon, you might have to go check on him. And he came and checked on me while he shit faced. He had his dad drive him over, and I'm sitting here on the floor with no clothes on, butt naked.
Well, that's an image.
He picked me up off the floor butt naked. Brandon did, and he threw my mask on because I have COPD. He's like, "Go to sleep, don't move."
He's trying to get you to stay still.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't sound like there's a dull moment with you guys.
Oh, there's never a dull moment.
Yeah.
They're my brothers, and I love them to death.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. Yeah, I don't think anyone would do that if you weren't that close. Oh, yeah. Well, that's quite a story.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably gonna go down as one of my favorite ones I've ever heard from a guest. Please tell me you have a clip of you being drunk at least.
I do have a clip of me being drunk on the show. It doesn't have me, falling down, but I have like a clip where it was me and a couple the lady friends we had on the show as guests as well. We had Juanita Bean and her name is Rain. We had another guest, Rain, and I stood up. Like I said, I'm shit faced. I lift my shirt up and I finger my belly button on camera.
Oh.
And they finger their own belly button as well with me.
Well, I think that just turned into a rated M for mature type of stream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like you have quite the stories then. I'm impressed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so okay, so I guess I gotta ask you then, because we talked a little bit off screen about like you having your own channel though. So like, you're not doing anything with that then? You just fully devoted to the platform?
I'm not really doing anything with my channel. I might stream on it like maybe once, maybe twice a year. But yeah, I'm fully devoted to platform podcast and my brothers. I love them to death, and I'll do anything for them.
Well, it must be fun doing that with your bros then, because like I know it's a bit hard like when you share like something that's kind of, well, I don't know if it's counts as business for you guys yet, but like stuff like that kind of is hard to do with people you're close with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always good like when like you can pull things together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've always done things solo, but I always just like to, I don't know, respect like people who do things like with their friends or like with their loved ones. Like that's always respectable,
Yeah.
And I'd always just hope that things go up for the best, because like you always hear like those stories of like people like family members falling out of like running a business together.
Mm-hmm.
So it can always be tough.
So far we've never had a falling out. I mean, we've had our little uh, spits and spats here, but we've always resolved them.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, everybody has their little spits and spats when you're streaming with your friends or your brothers.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It's unavoidable to have a little spat or two with the
right.
loved ones.
If you don't have, if you ain't having like any fights and stuff, then like, are you really friends?
Yeah, can definitely understand that. But I gotta ask you, like how you're talking about like the people you were getting on your show. Are you happy with like the growth and attention you guys been getting for your show? Like the people you've been getting on, and like
absolutely. Like I said, I am super proud, of the growth that we've become as a show. I want to grow even more with the platform podcast. I would like to one day, as a goal, go to the Game Awards and E3 or whatever you want to call it now these days. I would love to go to that kind of stuff. I would love to go to PAX, sit down and have people talk to me and the platform. I said I would love to do all that. That was my main goal to once we started this podcast. It was come that big. Like I said, we cover E3 and stuff like that every year. We try to get noticed, and like I said, we've grown. We started as one follower, and now we're sitting at 2.2 thousand people that follow us and watch us.
You gotta start somewhere.
Hey.
Well, that's good. Well, I remember talking with Big Cloud. I don't know if it was before I had interviewed him for my show or if it was after, but after that episode I aired. But he was talking about like how you guys like were like before he was doing his thing with like interviewing like actors from the gaming industry and like big people. He was saying that you guys were practically the first ones that beat him doing it.
Yeah.
So,
we started the interviewing of the voice actors and celebrities and stuff like that. And, I'm just one, kind of told Big Cloud, like, look, I said, all I'm doing is, asking these voice actors and, game devs, would you like to be on? I said, they're either going to, acknowledge you and say, hey, we'd love to be a guest, or they're just going to, leave it silent or respond back. I told him, I said, all you can do is shoot your shot. I said, it's like a woman. Shoot your shot and see what happens.
that's quite a comparison. Oh, I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, it makes sense. But
right.
Have you gotten any rejections from like big people that you guys did want? Any that you can name at least?
I can say we've had some rejections. There was one time, I asked because we also do a wrestling podcast as well, and there was one time I asked Diamond Dallas Page to be on our show, and he's like, no, you don't have the followings, because you need to be have more followers and stuff like that. Or if you don't have the followers, you can give me like $800. I'm like, bro, I don't got $800. Go kick rocks. I didn't say that directly to him. I was like, go kick rocks, bro.
Jesus, $800 just for an appearance on a show.
Right. I was like, for like a what? For just what, a 2-hour interview? Because before that, I mean, we interviewed like I said, I don't know if you watch wrestling like I do in the platform. We had Buff Bagwell, if you remember him.
I can't say I'm not that too big into the WWE and like all that stuff.
Well, yeah, we had Buff Bagwell on, and he was cool as shit, and he told us how Vince was in real life, and how Triple H was, how Stephanie was, how the McMahon family was. He was giving us some dirty secrets. I'm like, hey, this is cool as shit. But yeah.
So,
Uh,
I guess that's because that's like one of the big moments you had with like one of the guests you had on. Just getting, that must have been nice getting like those secrets out.
oh yeah, it was great. I remember, even I remember that day when we had Buff Bagwell on. I know Blaze told about it also. Blaze 4K. BitCloud was on a podcast with Blaze 4K, and I told him I told him in a DM. I told BitCloud, I was like, "Yo, we got Buff the Stuff on our podcast right now interviewing," and he DM'd Blaze like, "I gotta go," and goes, "They got Buff Bagwell on the podcast." Because I want to interview him. And I heard Blaze like in the thing. He's like, "Really? You're just gonna leave the podcast and just so you can go talk to Buff Bagwell?" He's like, "Yeah."
You got him to drop mid-show. Wow.
He's like, "Wow." I was like, "Hey, it is what it is."
I'm happy for you guys, but like I don't know. I feel like you guys deserve a lot more viewers than you get, because I took a peek at your guys' channel because I haven't seen it in a while now, and like you guys definitely deserve more attention than you get.
Oh, I agree. And like I said, we offer a lot, for content wise. Like I said, over here on the Platform Podcast, we do gaming, we do a podcast. Yesterday or last night, DJ Dan Pooh showed up because he's also a DJ, and Twitch is now starting where you can like DJ on the channel on the on Twitch, but you gotta get approved. And we did some DJing last night, and we had like 14 people watching us, and there's vibing and dancing and stuff like that, and requesting songs from Dan as he was DJing and mixing music. So like I said, we offer a lot if you want to check us out.
I was actually gonna ask about that, because like how you mentioned the wrestling. I didn't know you guys did that. I thought you guys mostly talked about gaming, to be honest.
Oh no.
So like seems like you guys were running the Platform channel. It's like you guys are pretty diverse with what you guys do then.
We call ourselves the Platform Podcast, but we also call ourselves the Platform Network. And like I said, and so we do some movie reviews. We do like wrestling podcasts, and in our Discord we'll watch like pay-per-views. If you want to come out, hang out in our Discord, and one of us will stream it, and we'll sit back and drink beer and watch the pay-per-views. Like tonight, we're going to be watching later tonight the AEW pay-per-view, All Out, and we're going to sit back, laugh, and drink some beers, and just chill and have some fun. But yeah, we offer everything.
Is it hard doing that? Because I know YouTube doesn't really like when people don't stick to one type of content. Like sticking to either like gaming or vlogs.
No, like I said, we do most of our streaming on Twitch.
Oh, okay, so that's where you guys. Okay.
Yeah,
so you guys don't get hit by that YouTube penalty then.
Yeah, we don't get hit by the YouTube penalty. Now we'll upload to YouTube, but
that's not your main platform then. Okay, I understand now.
Yeah.
So yeah, Twitch is better for that. I mean, I for my personal channel, I was all over the place with what I wanted to do for a while, so that's why I was kind of curious like how that worked. So now I know. So that must be fun. So how does it work with you guys? You guys just like rotate like who streams when, or like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Monday I'll stream. Tuesday, Brandon the Whole Man streams. Wednesday will be prime time. Thursday is like our day off. Then Friday, Dan does it. Then on Saturday we do a podcast of gaming news, like at 2:00 p.m. Eastern. And Sunday is our day off as well, unless there's a pay-per-view or something on, and we'll just hang out in Discord and drink and watch the pay-per-view, and repeat.
You guys have Sundays off because of football?
I watch football, but we mainly have Sundays off, like I said, unless there's a pay-per-view. But sometimes I'll also throw the football up, and like, hey, if anybody wants football, come on and chill with us, because not everybody has cable and stuff.
You don't actually show the game on your Twitch, do you?
No. We stream it. I'll stream it in like our Discord.
Okay, I'm gonna say, because I'm pretty sure you can probably get banned off of Twitch for that.
Oh yeah. I don't do all that. I'm like, if you want to watch it, it's in our Discord. Come hang out with us.
Speaking about that, I actually remember hearing a story from some former Twitch streamer that went to Kick that was streaming the Super Bowl.
Yeah, see.
I was like, the fuck? You did that on Kick? Like, a Kick is a fucking lawless platform sometimes.
Oh yeah.
But I gotta ask you guys then, you guys are you guys planning anything like on expanding like what you guys currently do, or like any future plans for what you guys want to do?
Like I said, we would like to expand and, like I said, become and grow and become bigger, and one day reach the Game Awards and E3 and things like that. That's our main goal.
So kind of just grow yourself into kind of like a media organization, I guess, kind of like IGN.
Right. Yep.
All right. Oh, you guys are gonna have some competition with the Ironlords then, because like they also do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I hope everything works out for you guys, because now that's pretty challenging to grow like any way you can. Like, even if it's like not just like gaming, it's pretty hard to compete in like different areas.
It is.
Because at that point you're just kind of competing with more people in like different areas who do similar things.
It is what it is, but yeah, it can be challenging.
But you're enjoying it though, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. I enjoy it. Every minute of it.
Then I take it you're not planning on stopping anytime soon then? You're just going to continue this as long as you can?
I'm going to continue this as long as I can. I am the oldest on the show as well.
Really? How old are your bros then?
I'm 46 years old. I'll be 47 next month. Everyone else is like in their 30s to mid 30s. So like I said, I'm the oldest.
Okay, you're old by a few years there, huh?
Yeah.
Are they calling you grandpa yet on the show?
Yeah, they've called me grandpa a couple times. I'm like, nah, I'm your daddy.
Respect your daddy, bitch.
Exactly, respect your daddy, bitch.
I kind of do that with Vitclad, because he's older and he likes to call me his son,
Yeah, I've seen that a couple times where he's like, "You're my son."
Yeah. Always nice when you can just clown around with the people you love.
Exactly.
But you gotta respect your elders, man.
Facts.
I guess that's about all that I have questions now. Yeah, I guess we got through everything. But yeah, it's been an honor having you on, though, Mike. Thank you for doing this. A pleasure having you on.
Thanks for having me on. I enjoyed it. I had fun.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe it could be on your show sometime.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, but speaking about that, why don't you let everyone know where they can find you? But like, I will let everyone know. I did put the links to everywhere you can find Bigmike in the description, but I'm just gonna let him shout everything out. So go for it.
Yep. You can find me and follow me on Twitter at Bigmike102477, and you can also listen to me every Monday on the Platform Podcast when I stream, or when we do our podcast every week on Saturday at 2 p.m. over at twitch.tv/the Platform Podcast.
All right, perfect. Yeah. Again, thank you for being on here, man. And I will be having a stream this Sunday. Going to be returning with a rebranded show that I took the liberties of taking some time off of. So I'll be happy to bring that back So yeah, stay tuned Sunday, guys. Until then, enjoy your weekend and peace.
Have a good one.